I have a second channel, Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, here we have another DBPOWER D2 action camera. This one's actually not mine, this is a friend of mine's, coworker's. I recommended this camera to him because he was looking for a sort of setup that he could rig up for watching his beehives. He's a beekeeper. And he wanted something that offered Wi-Fi functionality and could be powered off of a power bank, and this little camera can do as such. But the only thing he's not real crazy about is the fisheye lens that comes on this camera. Now, normally for action cameras, that's great and all, but he's wanting something that's not quite as wide. So earlier today, I tried out a lens I harvested from a Kodak ZI-6, a Kodak ZI-8, and a DXG 579V. None of them worked exactly like they should have. So I have another option available. This little piece of crap SJ 4000 knockoff camera I got off of Fleabay pretty recently. It has a lens in it that is deep, like the one that came in the DBPOWER camera. So I think it may actually work. Now this little lens here does not have nearly as wide of a viewing angle as the one that's in the DBPOWER D2. This is also a cheaper lens, but it does have an infrared filter and all that good stuff in it, so we're going to see how this works. I've been kind of curious. And also, while I'm in here, I'm going to see if I can find it. The lens that came off that first sports cam. Curious to see how it would work in this thing. And I figured it'd also be a grand opportunity to compare the innards of one of these cameras versus one of these. It's quite a difference. Now, I'm not going to do like a full tear down of this thing, guys. I'm sorry, it's not mine. I'm not going to do it. But I am going to pop the front cover off, and you will get to see the sensor and stuff like that when I take the lens out. So I can leave the SD card that's in there. Just pull the battery out for the time being. Well, actually, first, before I pull the battery out, let's start up and have a look at what kind of viewing angle you get. So you can see we have a really wide fisheye view. And of course, on my DBPOWER D2, I love this. It's great for my storm videos that I use it for, and also for the bike rides and other stuff I may use this thing for. But for this person's needs, they don't need something that's so wide. So the idea is give them a lens that's a bit more narrow, and I get to keep this lens as a spare for mine in case mine gets scratched. So get you a good look at that. Okay, shut it off. And we'll pull the battery out. Tell you what, the battery's kind of hard to get out of this one for some reason. Yeah, and this is stock battery. It's not swelled or anything. It's a tight fit. Now, the front of this thing, like this piece of crap knockoff here, just pops right off. With care and caution. So I'm doing it off camera. Sorry. So the front just pops off. And if I wanted to get into this thing further to really do some serious modding for whatever reason, there's 4 screws here that allows this to come off, and you can do all sorts of stuff with it. Now the owner of this camera is planning to modify the Wi-Fi. He's planning on replacing the stock antenna with the I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the connector that you find on desktop wireless cards and computers. It's like a little coax connector where you can hook up a Wi-Fi antenna. He's looking to boost the Wi-Fi range of this thing. And the lens, it just threads right out. Matter of fact, this one was not really all that tight in there. I mean, it had some glue on it, but it wasn't like super glue. It was almost like, I don't know, I don't know if it'd be hot glue, but it was a softer glue. It did the job of keeping this thing intact. Now, everything is fogging up because I have pasta boiling on the stove. I'll probably want to check it here in a moment. But that is the lens that comes in the DBPOWER D2 up against another wide angle one that came out of that first sports cam that I got. And here's the one that I plan to eventually put in this camera. You can see they're very similar looking in design, so it may actually be a compatible fit. Okay, since I have a sample here for you, let's get a look at a comparison between a decent SJ knockoff versus a crap SJ knockoff, or SJ cam knockoff. Look at the little bitty sensor in a sports cam. Compare that to the one that's in the DBPOWER D2. Much larger, much larger. Much better quality, for sure. So, now I'm not sure if I mentioned or not, but I did do a teardown of this thing here. And it is so amazing how these things follow such a similar design in overall construction. I mean, look at them. Look how they go together. It's so freaking similar. So now, I'm going to go ahead and pop the battery back in this thing. Since I got the front off, I can just kind of stick the battery back in there. Because what I want to do is be able to run the camera, be able to turn it on. Yeah, actually try out lenses one by one. So, first I'm going to try out this little one here, because I'm curious to see how it would do. Now, that's not the one I eventually plan to install, but I'm just curious if it will work in this camera. See if I can get focus. And it looks like we're getting close. Yeah, that one is actually a no-go. So I'm wondering if the other one might perhaps work. There's a question in my mind that was just begging to be answered, really, guys. So I have one camera that this right here will fit up to, and it's a Kodak ZI6. Now this one, though, I'm curious to see how it does. That one probably still has some thread locker on it. Yeah, because it's not even threading in all the way. I got to get that thread locker out of there. Off the threads on this thing. Okay, after some fiddling, I did manage to find a lens that would work with this camera. So this one here is mine. This one here is the other one. And we'll do a side-by-side comparison. But this is the kind of camera that other lens came out of that is talked about. Here's how it looks. Now, I haven't put the cover back on the front of the camera yet, but as you can see, there it is. And it's still somewhat a wide angle lens, though it's not fisheye wide angle. It's probably 140 degrees versus 170 degrees. I think this camera comes with from the factory. So if we put them side by side, and of course mine does not have a card in it, so it has a little no card message on it, but you can probably see a difference right away in the frame or the field of view. There's definitely a noticeable difference. So here's how the front looks, and I'll go ahead and snap the cover back on the front. The thing is, now there's going to be a small gap around the edge of the lens. So there's a comparison between the stock lens and the lens I just fitted in. It doesn't protrude out quite as far, but doesn't seem to be an issue. And also, it'll fit just fine into its watertight case. Not sure if he's using the watertight case for anything or not, but there's how it looks inside the watertight case. So overall, not bad. I was definitely glad I was able to find a compatible lens for this thing, because I also have more similar to it, as you had seen. Not that I would want to change the lens that's in mine, but I mean, if I ever wanted to for any reason, I could. So I think that kind of wraps up for this video. That is swapping out the lens in this DBPOWER D2, going from a ultra wide angle or fisheye to a smaller wide angle. Although it's not exactly, I know as I mentioned, the owner is looking for something that's not wide angle, but this is definitely an improvement over what he had, and that's the key thing that matters here for this scenario. Again, I'll show you one more time. Definitely noticeable difference. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Well guys, that's it for this one. But it doesn't have to be. There's plenty more videos on the channel to check out. Also, if you liked the video, please click the like button. And if you absolutely hated it, there is the alternative button as well. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And remember to click the bell so that we get notified of all updates. Also, if you're interested in things aside from computers and technology, check out my second channel. It's CubeCompMTDX. Over there you'll find videos about weather, elevators, bicycling, and pretty much whatever else I figure out to upload. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for your support.